This is the exact moment your old life programming ends. Pay attention. Your life isn't stuck. It's not that you're not intelligent, or unlucky, or that you lack potential. You're simply running yesterday's code, day after day. You're living the mental software you installed years ago. And the good news is that this code can be rewritten. It can be completely updated in the next few minutes. I'm going to share with you 5 simple habits, true neural switches, that will reprogram your brain for unwavering focus, automatic discipline, and most importantly, a calm abundance mindset. Not next year. The reprogramming starts today. This is the uncomfortable truth no one tells you: you don't rise to the level of your goals, instead, you fall, inevitably, to the level of your habits. If your mornings begin with the chaos of the snooze button and compulsive scrolling, your days will end with regret and a feeling of inadequacy. If your inner dialogue is hostile and full of excuses, your financial and personal results will be too. But when your daily actions align with a defined purpose, everything changes dramatically: clarity, energy, money, relationships, confidence. The identity you dream of, that unshakable version of yourself, becomes the identity you live. This isn't misleading advertising. This is a system. Small switches that transform your brain, from indecision to decisive action, from mental noise to deep work, from chronic insecurity to automatic excellence. This is a cumulative effect. Choose just one habit today. Build 3 this week. And I guarantee that in 30 days, you won't recognize the way you think, act, or feel. You'll feel it in your calendar, your bank account, your life. Because success isn't a random event, it's a rhythm you create. If you're ready to install the new software, say it out loud: day 1. Now take a deep breath. This is taking back control. Let's begin. Habit 1, raising a defined purpose. When the alarm goes off, most people do one of 2 things: they roll over to practice procrastination, or they grab their phone to start the day on autopilot. No plan, no urgency, no real motivation. Then they wonder why their goals never move forward and why life feels like one long, blurry repetition. The first 60 minutes of the morning set the pace for the entire day, and most people throw them away. If you want to change your mindset, if you want to live as someone who builds wealth, success, and peace of mind, you must incorporate one fundamental and brutally simple habit: waking up with a definite purpose. Time is life. Life is nothing more than the sum of the days you live, and each day is made up of hours. If you wake up and treat those hours with indifference, you are treating your life with indifference. Imagine someone handed you a wad of $100 bills every morning, with the sole condition that you spend it on something meaningful before nightfall. Would you throw it away? Would you let someone else tell you how to spend it? Of course not. But that is exactly what happens when you let your morning slip away. You are wasting the most valuable resource you will ever have: your time and your mental energy. Napoleon Hill, the success scholar, called time the raw material of all wealth. Waking up with a definite purpose is the way to protect that raw material and shape it into something meaningful. Most people don't live with purpose, but with routine. They get up at the same time, do the same things, think the same things, complain about the same problems, and expect something different to happen. That cycle is the definition of being stuck. Purpose is the disruptive element. Purpose wakes you up with a mission you've chosen. It tells your mind, I'm not here to drift along, I'm here to build something valuable. And when you incorporate that into your day, every action becomes more precise. You stop paying attention to the world and start directing it. You no longer wait for motivation to find you, you move because you have an inescapable reason. Your brain operates on identity. When you tell yourself, I'm a goal-oriented and disciplined person, but your mornings are lazy and distracted, your subconscious accuses you of lying. That's why insecurity grows. You break promises you make to yourself, and your identity suffers. But when you wake up with a purpose, even something as small as writing, today I'm cultivating discipline by completing my workout at 7 a.m. Your brain receives a new instruction. It says, this is who we are now. The more you repeat it, the stronger the neural connection becomes. Over time, waking up with clarity and direction stops feeling like a chore. It feels natural. That's an identity shift achieved through habit. If you feel the power of this idea, it's because your brain is ready for the next level. But you won't achieve it alone. You need the system. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel right now and turn on notifications. This is your public commitment to identity change. Don't let the algorithm distract you, make sure you get the strategy that will keep you on the path to mastery. Here's how to install this habit in 60 seconds. Step 1. Before bed, take a minute to write your power card. Example: tomorrow I will develop financial discipline by tracking my expenses and planning my investment at 8 p.m. Step 2. Upon waking, place that card where you'll see it first, on your phone screen, in airplane mode, on the bathroom mirror, or on your nightstand. Step 3. Upon waking, read it aloud. Not silently, but aloud. That voice is self-suggestion. It tells your subconscious that this day matters and what the mission is. This simple routine transforms your mornings, turning them from a reaction to an intentional creation. Second habit, the 10-second roulette against procrastination. The second biggest thief of your potential is indecision. Procrastination isn't laziness, it's an internal conflict. It's your brain trying to protect you from the pain of effort or the fear of failure. When you see a task you need to do, call a client, clean, start a project, your brain goes into a loop. Is it safe? Is it convenient? Should we do it later? In those seconds of doubt, resistance builds up like a wall. This is where you apply the 10-second rule. The psychology of the 10-second gap. Neuroscience studies indicate that the gap between intention and decisive action is a critical window. If you don't act within the first 10 seconds of recognizing a task, the mental resistance that builds up can be almost impossible to overcome. The 10-second rule states, once you know you have to do something, you have exactly 10 seconds to initiate the first physical action, no matter how small. You don't have to finish the task. You just have to start. If you have to work out, put on your shoes within 10 seconds. If you have to make a call, dial the number within 10 seconds. If you have to write, open the document and type the first sentence within 10 seconds. Success story: I know an executive who suffered from chronic email procrastination. She used to let hours go by before replying. She applied the rule: when she saw an email that required a response, she forced herself to type the greeting and the first line of action within 10 seconds. Once the momentum was there, the resistance disappeared. Within a month, her response speed tripled, and she was perceived as the most efficient person on her team. Break the loop of fear. Fear often disguises itself as procrastination. The 10-second rule forces your body to move before your mind has time to construct a logical or emotional excuse. You're invading your brain's comfort zone. If you find this rule a powerful weapon against indecision, share it. This kind of practical knowledge is what transforms lives. Share this video right now with 3 friends you know who are stuck in the procrastination loop. Help them install this simple mental liberation tool. Third habit: finish what you start. This one seems obvious, but the cumulative effect of incompleteness is a slow poison that destroys your self-confidence. Every time you start a project, a book, a diet, or a difficult conversation, and then abandon it, you're sending a signal to your subconscious: I'm not reliable. My promises mean nothing. Most people have a project graveyard in their lives: half-read books, half-finished courses, forgotten business projects. That graveyard drains your energy. Each unfinished project is an open tab in your mind's browser, consuming RAM and attention, leaving you feeling fatigued before you even start your day. The closure effect and energy success isn't just about what you start, it's about what you finish. The simple act of completing a small task, making your bed, sending that email, paying that bill, releases a dose of dopamine in your brain. This is called the closure effect, or the reverse Zeigarnik effect. That small dose of dopamine creates momentum. It gives you irrefutable proof that you're a person of your word. The rule of completion: commit to finishing the smallest task you start each day. If you start reading a chapter, read it all the way through. If you start a call, finish it. Get your brain used to the feeling of completion. Over time, this will solidify into an automatic pursuit of excellence, where incompleteness feels simply unbearable. Fourth habit, learn something new every day. Dedicate 15 minutes to a relevant concept. Most people think education ends when they get their degree. That's an outdated mindset that guarantees stagnation. In today's world, if you're not learning, you're slowly dying in terms of relevance and value. True wealth isn't the money you have, but the quality of the decisions you make, and the quality of those decisions depends directly on the quality of the information you consume. This habit is the law of mental compound interest. You're familiar with financial compound interest, a small investment that is reinvested and grows exponentially. The mind works in the same way. Your investment, 15 minutes of focused attention. Your capital, a new concept or a new skill. Every concept you learn doesn't remain isolated. It connects with the knowledge you already possess. Learning about economics helps you understand psychology. Learning about personal development helps you invest. These neural connections create exponential value, causing your intellect to grow faster than time itself. In 1 year, by dedicating just 15 minutes a day, you will have invested 91 hours of focused learning. That's the equivalent of 2 or 3 full university courses. The mistake people make is trying to read an entire book or complete a 10-hour course in a single day. That's overwhelming. The 15-minute rule is the antidote to information overload. Microdose approach: choose a specific topic, finance, negotiation, programming, nutrition, and consume a daily microdose. Quality sources: read a section of a dense book, watch a YouTube tutorial that teaches you a specific technique, or listen to an analytical podcast. No passive scrolling, these 15 minutes must be active. If you're reading, underline. If you're listening, take quick notes. Retention triples when there's interaction. Relevance is power. This isn't a habit for entertainment. The 15 minutes should be directed toward a concept or skill that's relevant to your long-term goal. If your goal is financial freedom, consume information on investing, taxes, or passive income. If your goal is health, consume information on biohacking or strength training. By maintaining this habit, you ensure your mind remains sharp, relevant, and constantly increasing in value. And ultimately, in any field, the person with the highest quality knowledge is the one who makes the right decisions and, therefore, wins. Fifth habit, the 1% improvement audit. This is the habit in your daily cycle, the ritual you should perform right before going to sleep. Most people end the day exhausted, on autopilot, watching TV, or collapsing. They give away their last few conscious minutes. But for a sovereign, those final minutes are the time for consolidation and strategy. The 1% audit is the direct application of the principle of marginal gains, small, consistent, daily changes that seem insignificant in the short term but produce massive results in the long term. If you improve by 1% every day, after a year, you are 37 times better than you were before. If you decline by 1% each day, your performance drops to almost zero. This habit is your insurance against decline. The psychology of constructive feedback. This exercise isn't a self-flagellation session. It's not for you to punish yourself for what you didn't do. On the contrary, it's a moment of objective and dispassionate analysis. Your brain needs feedback. If you end the day without auditing it, your brain doesn't know if it has learned anything or if it has failed in vain. Auditing closes that loop and turns you into a real-time strategist. It's based on 2 golden questions. And the order of these questions is absolutely vital. Golden question number 1, what did I do well today? First, start with the victory. Before looking at any mistakes, ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I demonstrate the captain's identity? Did I fulfill my power card? Did I apply the 10-second rule at a key moment? Did I say no to a distraction that would have previously consumed me? The reason you start with success: your brain needs evidence that your new software is working. By consciously identifying a success, however small, you release dopamine and reinforce the identity of a disciplined person. You show your subconscious that you are a person of your word. This positive reinforcement makes the habit enjoyable and ensures repetition. Don't look for perfection, look for proof that you made progress. Golden question number 2, what can I improve by 1% tomorrow? Only after you've identified and celebrated your success should you move on to constructive criticism. Ask yourself, if I could only improve one thing by 1% tomorrow, what would it be? The key is 1%. Don't say, tomorrow I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym for 2 hours. That's overwhelming and guarantees failure. Look for the smallest, least intimidating improvement. Instead, tomorrow, I'm going to lay out my gym clothes before going to bed. Tomorrow, I'm going to use the 10-second rule only in my first email of the day. By focusing your mind on a single, small, actionable improvement, you eliminate mental noise and give yourself a clear, achievable instruction for the next day. This instruction becomes your power card for tomorrow and closes the loop of reprogramming. The 1% audit is the habit that protects you from complacency. It ensures your mind is always calibrated to growth mode, not maintenance mode. If you manage to do this simple audit every night for 30 days, I guarantee your growth rate will skyrocket because you'll have stopped unconsciously repeating mistakes and installed automatic excellence. Make your brain your most valuable asset. Start your microdoses of knowledge today. Consolidate these habits until they feel as natural as breathing. Choose one today. Collect 3 this week. Remember the core truth: success is not an event, it's a rhythm. Your life isn't stuck. You've simply been running outdated code. But the key to the control room is in your hand. Don't wait for Monday, or next month, or a cosmic sign. Reprogramming begins with the first act of conscious discipline. Feel the power in the choice you make now. Feel the momentum propel you when you decide not to hit the snooze button. Feel the relief when you finish what you started. You're not building a goal, you're building an identity. And the identity of abundance, unwavering and disciplined, is the only one that will lead you to freedom. Your calendar will change. Your bank account will change. Your inner dialogue will be the voice of a leader. And all because one day you decided your old programming was over. This is your day 1. Don't waste it. If you're ready to install this new software and change your identity, I want to read your commitment. Comment the word code below right now. Join the community of those who no longer let yesterday's code dictate tomorrow's success. Change starts now.